There isn't anything that isn't made easier through constant familiarity and training. Through training, we can change. We can transform ourselves. The Dalai Lama. High stakes selling. The moment you enter the world of business or the world of selling, especially commission-based selling, you'll find the stakes to be incredibly high. You'll even need to be aware of your behaviour concerning the sales you don't convert, because your conduct is always on display. The words you use, the emails you send, every action you exhibit, it all sends a beacon out to the world, either repelling or attracting more or less business to you. When you start to consider this and everything else that rides on your success as a business owner or salesperson, the stakes are incredibly high. At the end of every month, even if you've met your sales target or quota, when the month rolls over, the new month doesn't care. It's game on and last month doesn't matter anymore. As you gain more success, as you get older and accumulate more responsibility with more debt and more success to live up to, you'll also find you have a lot more to lose. 17-year-old surfing fanatic. When I first stumbled unknowingly into the world of sales, I was not thinking about becoming a salesperson at all. In fact, I was a 17-year-old surfing fanatic. From the time that I was 6 years old up until I'd begun my sales career, I was, and still am, first and foremost, a surfer. I was surfing competitively and sponsored by Rip Curl wetsuits. Any spare moment I had was spent thinking about surfing, drawing surfing symbols or illustrations, talking about surfing, and of course, actually surfing. At the time when I began my career in sales, I had just returned from a 4-day trip to a place called Denmark in the southwest of Western Australia. It was around Easter, and I had arrived home from surfing with the Surfboard Riders Club that I was a member of. When I set foot into the house, my mum and dad asked me to come and sit with them in the lounge room. Now, in our place, if you were ever asked to go and talk to my parents in the lounge room, you knew something serious was going on. And as I started walking toward the lounge room, I felt this knot in the pit of my stomach and a whole level of nervousness rising up within me. I thought I'd done something horribly wrong and that my parents had found out about it. As I racked my brain trying to work out what I might have done wrong, that I would be in trouble for, we made our way into the lounge room and sat down. I studied the look on my parents' faces and I noticed it wasn't disappointment I could see, it was pride. I learned what they wanted to talk to me about was that the guy from Rip Curl who was sponsoring me for wetsuits wanted to meet with me. He'd contacted my parents while I was away and he'd asked if he could speak to me about the possibility of working for him in his wholesale distribution business. My parents were absolutely blown away and were flattered with pride at the prospect that my sponsor had called them unsolicited, out of the blue, and asked if I would be interested in working for him. I did have a chat with him, and that conversation led to my start in sales at the age of 17. A car battery becomes $1 million career. It had been a previous chance encounter that I'd had that led to him making the decision to employ me. I'd been at a local petrol station when he drove his car in to get some fuel. The car I was driving at the time had broken down and I had organised prior to his arrival a new replacement battery for my car. I'd somehow managed to get the service station attendant to agree to install a new battery without me paying for it at the time, and I was just about to drive off. When he asked me, "Are you okay? Do you need a lift anywhere?" I said as casually as I could, "No, it's all right, it's all sorted." I could see him looking at me, this guy who would eventually ask me to come and work for him, and I could see the cogs in his mind ticking and turning over. As it turns out, me negotiating a pay-later arrangement on that replacement battery with the attendant was the criteria that he would use to decide if I should work for him. Oddly enough, throughout our conversation of employment, he at some point had mentioned the fact that I was going to be in sales and my role would involve dealing with clients and selling to them. However, at the time, all I could hear was, "You're going to get free wetsuits, you're going to get free surf clothing, and you're going to get free accessories." And this was how I put my toe in the water and was catapulted into the world of sales.